UK podcast is proudly sponsored by EcoSmart. EcoSmart help people to find the most suitable and affordable solutions to reduce their energy bills. They will assess your property and determine which system would be the most suitable for you to power your home with cheaper, greener energy. Not just that, but EcoSmart can also provide scaffolding services that can change charging ports at home for your electric cars, and many more services that can provide. Call them now on 0800 222 9532. EcoSmart, leading the way in renewable energy.
Yes, people, what's happening? Nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. Tonight, we're joined by, in my opinion, the #1 heavyweight in the world. People will know what I'm on about. It's big. What's happening, mate?
How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Are you?
Not too well. I'm just going to get in the other room because my dogs are kicking off.
No worries, mate. You're back home now, then, yeah?
Yeah. I've just had my little laddie at the gym.
All right. I was just wondering, mate, if we could start this podcast by talking about the Newcastle show.
Aye, it was a men's show, that I thought.
Yeah, well, what did you think of, obviously, the lads out of your gym and that were fighting on the night?
They had good fights. I seen Lewis was a little bit disappointed with his performance. For some reason, we've had to tell him off. I thought he had a very good performance, you know. He had a good opponent. Robbie for Ben Bonner. I mean, Robbie's good, you know, like really, really good. And I was very impressed with that Ben Bonner. He was a tough kid, him.
Yeah, like I say, I think he surprised a lot of lads out of your gym because they know how good Robbie is. And Ben Bonner, like, he's a good fighter, mate. He's from, like, the town I'm from as well. And, like, I want to see him do well in the BKFC. And I think he'll go far. He showed his toughness with Rob, didn't he?
100%. I mean, Rob punches hard, you know. I've known Rob since he was 12. I've trained with him since he was 12. You know, he's a very good Thai boxer. As he got older, we call him the Shark. He's just muscle on muscle. And I used to work with Rob as well. He's a good joiner. And I swear to God, it's a liberty really because, like, you know, like I'm a heavyweight now, but at the time I was a cruiserweight. So I was always on a diet and trying to, like, eat correctly. And Rob would come in with a pack of quavers and a pack of fruit pastels and then have an 8-pack. He's just genetically gifted, you know.
Yeah, Baz Jones the next day messaged me after the fight, and he was just like, Ben Bonner, what a tough kid he is. He said, it's going to be hard to work. Rob, he's been getting knocked about in the gym since he's been 11, 12-year-old by the likes of Mick and that.
I've been, obviously I've spotted him since he was 12. I was like, what? He's only 26 now, since 15 years ago. I was probably in my prime then as well, you know, and he was only little, you know, so he used to just trip my hand, you know, like try and keep it, how can I say it? Like, you would keep it so he was entertained, but like I made sure I won, you know what I mean? I was, even though he's 12, I beat him.
Yeah. Mate, I swear to God, yeah, when we went for food the day before the fight, he was one about the cock on the bottle. I swear to God, mate, I couldn't fucking believe it when I seen it the next day, because I didn't see it when I was there. I seen it, fucking Rob Barry post it. I thought, I can't believe you fucking done that.
Do you know what it is? I was going to give him it on the first round, you know, but just before we went out, I says to Annie, I can't. I says, this Ben Bonner's quite tough and it could go either way in the fight. I says, so I don't want to do it in the first round for him to have a good laugh and then get beat. I would look like a right butt, you know. So I says, we'll have to wait at the end of the fight. I says, win or lose, he's getting it. But I swear to God, 2 weeks before it was my birthday. And we're out on my birthday, and I seen them smoke baby gender reveal bombs. He blasted one of them in my face, you know. You know, like,
I seen it, mate.
I swear to God, I was like a Smurf, you know. I was like, bastard, you know. So Bungles can, do you think we should do this to him? I went, 100%. He's getting a cock in his mouth off that dildo. It was the memes like that.
Mate, you get good. That couldn't have went any fucking better for you. Like you got him fucking hands down.
The thing is, in our gym, I swear to God, our gym's ruthless, for banter.
When I was up there, mate, everyone's doing is just fucking ripping into each other.
Honestly, I've never been to a gym like ours, because like the best of it is like because I've trained them all since they were young. It's like they've learned to take it, so like they can all give it, but they can all take it as well. So everyone just has a laugh,
Yeah, it's a good gym, mate, and especially for like the likes of Lewis Keane and Rob Barry and that, because in the BKFC, it's not just boxing. There's like all sorts of backgrounds, so there's different styles these lads are going up against, and there's that many boys in the O'Toole's gym, that many lads that they can mix it up with in sparring, and that it's good for a minute.
Well, I swear, we're all Thai boxers. Lewis Keane's a Thai boxer. Robbie Barry's a Thai boxer. I was a Thai boxer. Bars was MMA. We call him Bungalani Davison. He was a Thai boxer. Sean Barry was another one. He was a Thai boxer. So, like, Thai boxers probably don't have as good a boxing skill, but I think it's awkward for boxers, so it seemed to do well. Also, it's got the clinch. But I tell you what, Thai boxers, they're tough. They're really tough because we're used to getting elbowed and kneed and kicked. So when you're getting punched, it's a bonus. It's like, oh, champion, you're not going to elbows after that.
Yeah, I've seen some of the worst injuries you see in sports are from Thai fighting and that, aren't they?
Honestly, it's I know people say MMA is brutal, but the most brutal part of MMA is the Thai boxing side, the stand-up side. So, and you've got to think as well, especially in the Thai boxing, you used to get a clap, and if you heard the clap, it means you weren't working enough. So you had to get stuck back in. And if you get a couple of claps, you get a warning, and then you may get told the fight's off. So you had to work all the time, and it's non-stop clinching, knee and elbow, and I mean, it hurts,
Did you ever go over to Thailand, Mick?
No, I never got there. My wife never let us.
So what's been happening with you then since obviously you've had the break from the BKFC, chilling, going all day, doing the bits that you've been doing? Have you been keeping active all the way through?
No, I went on holiday in January. I went to Florida, and a week into my holiday, I thought I had a heart attack. I had a massive pain in my left arm. My neck was stuck. And basically, I've slipped 4 discs in my neck. So that's only just started healing itself maybe in May. So from May, I've just been, because I was a bit fat as well, because obviously you're not training. But I swear when I slipped the disc, the first 10 weeks of that, I didn't even sleep. I never slept for 10 weeks. It was an agony. And I had I trapped a nerve down it was a C5, C6 nerve. But thankfully, it's all healed itself, just over time, it just must have unpinched itself. But, so when I had that friggin' non-sub Carlisle, that Dick Eggy, he called us up, didn't he? So honestly, I had one arm, and I said, right, I'm just going to have to fight him. So anyways, pulled out. I knew he was going to pull out anyways, he's a little pussy, isn't he? But I had one arm, he would have probably had a good chance of beating us.
Do you think that fight is ever going to happen?
With Decker?
Yeah.
No.
You've had quite a bit of back and forth, haven't you, on the internet when I've been looking and that?
Decker's never going to fight anyone he thinks he can beat him. Now, when Decker fought Danny Christie, Decker thought because he was bigger, he was going to beat Danny, and Decker's getting the shock of his life when Danny's hit him. And Danny stayed in front of him, and we all know how tough Danny is. But Decker's honestly thought, I'm heavier, I'm going to knock him out. And Danny's given him a shock. And if you notice, it was from that fight, Decker's health just declined. It's like, it was all over the internet, and he got shown up with a smaller kid. Now, if you watch that fight with Danny wasn't in shape on that fight. Now, if you look at Danny now, he's just muscles on muscles. Danny at the minute, he's took his training really seriously. Decker does not want to have that fight with Danny because Danny will splatter him all over. And then he got splattered off Robbie Brown as well, didn't he? And Robbie is half his size, and that's
I don't even think he was 9 stone, mate.
I swear that's got to knock your ego because Derek, you've got to remember when Derek was going round, he thought he was going out with that Cashman lass. And he was going, I'm the hardest man in Britain. I'm the hardest man in Britain. And then you've been chinned off a kid off your size. So he's probably not even the hardest kid in his own house.
No, mate, it was fucking... To be fair, mate, when that fight got sent to me with Robbie, I was like, you can't let fucking that happen. No fucking way. So obviously, Paul was talking about it as well, who was doing fair play. We were like, you can't sort of let that happen. We're trying to stop it. But Robbie was just so confident, mate. He was like, no, I want to fucking fight. I want to fight.
Well, how did that start though? Because Robbie was fighting for his promotion at first or something. Did Robbie have the fight with Bash or something? And that was kicked off because he never made any money off it.
Yeah, it was something to do with that, mate. I think that's what it was all over. But I don't think Robbie was trying to like sly anybody. I think he just wanted to fight, mate.
It's like you've got two men want to have a fight. You don't have to go through that hanging to have a fight. You know what I mean? It's just a strainer, isn't it? But
yeah,
I think the Robbie Brown fight was a decline at that. And I think personally, what would have happened was Decker honestly thought he was going to walk through Robbie, and then he thought in his mind he was going to easily beat Robbie, have the fight with Dougie, have 2 fights in 1 week, cemented himself as a real fighting man. But he didn't, did he? He got chinned off Robbie. He had himself a little cry in the toilets, public toilets. I mean, what was that? Look, there's other people having a piss in the toilet and he's having a cry. You know what I mean?
I can't believe I got the blame for it all.
That was your fault, I remember.
Days and days and days, fucking all my fault. I was like, fucking hell, you only fucking recorded the video.
If he wasn't happy with you being there, he would have said, you are going to have to leave.
Definitely, mate.
The reason why he didn't want you there is because he was trying to film it himself. He thinks he's got a monopoly on the fighting for some reason.
Yeah, it was a mad situation, like, mate. It was fucking, like, he did well, didn't he, Robbie, to be honest? He's got some fucking balls on him.
But it's not that, I know he's got big balls, but he's got a good skill set. You know what I mean? He's actually, he is a skilled, trained fighter. Yeah. Fighting someone who's bigger, who thinks he's good and he isn't.
Yeah, like it wasn't the fact of who he was fighting; it was just the fact of obviously the experience and the size compared to Robbie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, you can see Robbie's got a. I watched Robbie on the BKFC. Obviously, since that fight, I've kept an eye on him, and he's got a good skill set, that lad. Like, and Derek just froze. You know, in the fight, he didn't know what to do. He just sort of froze.
Yeah, it was a weird one, mate. But fucking moving on, anyways. I've seen that obviously you've called back out Arnold Adams. You've done the BKFC released the video yesterday and he's accepted it on Facebook. I've seen a comment. Is this the fight that we're going to see next for Mick Terrill?
I certainly hope so. I mean, obviously there's talks in the background. We're just waiting for everything to be announced properly. But yeah, don't get us wrong. Arnold's good. There's no getting away with it. And you know, like I spoke to him after the fight with Harry. He's a sound fella as well. You know, he's a lot like me. He's just a normal person.
Yeah,
you know, have a laugh with him. He's good crack. You know, but he's got a good skill set. So I'm definitely not going into the fight thinking I'm going to smash him all over because he punches hard, Arnold, and he's very elusive. You know, so I've got to be really fit for that fight.
Yeah, I'm not taking nothing away from Arnold Adams' performance when he beat you. Like, he's a very good fighter, mate, but it wasn't 100% fit Mick, was it, on that night?
Do you know what it is? The Americans will call us for it, right? But I really wasn't well on that fight, you know. And I swear this is how bad it is. You know, Bungle Andy, he's a Catholic. And I really wasn't well. And I remember I was sat on the toilet and I kept shitting myself. You know, like, I didn't even know I was shitting myself. It was just going, like, I was just shaking. Not through nerves or anything. I wasn't well. I kept shaking. I lost 2.5 stone in a week. And I'm, you know what it is? I wouldn't say I don't believe in God, but I don't strictly follow it, you know. And of course, Andy's a devout Catholic, you know. Little choir boy. That's why he's something. Anyhow, I sat on the toilet and my wife had phoned us just before leaving to go to the venue. And my wife, because obviously my wife knew I was unwell, and she went, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I feel like shit." And then my wife just burst into tears and put the phone down. And Andy's went, "You can't say that, Mick. She's going to be really worried now." I went, "All right." So I phoned her back. I went, "Oh, come on, I feel great now." So my wife's going to be worried, you know. So then he puts the phone down. And Lou, I swear to God, I was sat on the toilet having a shit saying, please God, make us better. And he didn't. And he didn't, you know, so I can only blame God for that. You know,
it must like, I know we've spoke about it before, and like it's doesn't mean nothing talking about the past and that it's fucking called the past for a reason, but it must have been a fucking horrible situation to be in, mate.
The situation I had, right, you know, Mo Godbeer.
Yeah.
I was meant to fight Mo Godbeer before Arnold Adams. The Godbeer fight never happened. And then before I was meant to fight Godbeer, Godbeer was meant to fight somebody else, and he had getting COVID in America. So Godbeer had now pulled out of 2 fights. And I'm saying he's pulled out of 2 fights. According to, I mean, I got on with Mark after that Wembley fight, but Mark hadn't signed to the fight. His manager had signed it for him. Mark says he knew nothing about it. So anyways, because Mark had now pulled out of 2 fights, everyone was saying he was a coward.
Yeah.
He's come back to America, pulled out the fight, he's a coward. Now, the BKFC had paid for me to go to Mexico for 2 weeks because I had a quarantine, and then I had to go to America and fight. Now, imagine they've paid me all expenses to Mexico, and then like the day before the fight, I said, by the way, I'm not very well, I can't fight.
Yeah. I
would have been a coward. People wouldn't have cared I was ill. And people are saying, you should have told me you were ill. But if Ada says, I'm not very well, I can't fight, I would have been, Mick Terrill is a pussy all over. And that's, I'd rather get beat than be a coward. So I just had to bite the bullet and go in for it.
Yeah, did the obviously, because this fight's been, you've been waiting for this rematch for a while now, haven't you?
I've been dreaming about it.
And luckily, well, he's left now. The guy who's the champion, Alan Belcher, he's left. Is it PFL he's gone to?
I think he has. You know what it is? It was a funny one, you know, because you know when he fought Arnold, Arnold's dropped him, and I honestly think I don't know if he's damaged his eye socket or something, but Arnold really damaged him. Now, Arnold's got this bad habit of being a show pony. So Arnold damaged him. And instead of running to the neutral, I'm saying corner to circle, to the neutral area, Arnold's decided to do a little dance. So it's delayed the count, hasn't it? So, and anyways, Alan's ended up getting a longer count than he should have been. But yeah. Arnold can only blame himself because he was doing a little victory dance instead of, and the time before the fight, you've got to get yourself over to the neutral area. So, and anyways, I'm sure Arnold maybe put him down again, if I remember correctly. And then what's happened is Alan's come up, and if you watch the fight, Arnold's done something to his knee, and you can see his knee jerked. And when Arnold's went down, he's not hurt, he's just got a sore knee. So
supposed to get back up onto his knee, didn't he?
Straight away, Arnold was asking for a rematch. Now, I'd already beat Panda, and I was meant to be the next contender for the title.
Yeah.
But I damaged me neck and my shoulder in January. So I had to just be quiet and bide my time because I couldn't start shouting, I want to fight, because I couldn't. At the time, I didn't have an arm. So really, I was lucky that Arnold and Alan were arguing over this rematch because it gave me a bit of time to heal. So I just had to bide my time and keep my mouth shut. So I don't want to shut my mouth off and say I can't make it this month. But luckily, I'm a lot better now, so I can't shut my mouth now.
Yeah, good, because obviously with the back and forth that you've had, you've got a lot of respect for each other, haven't you? You and Arnold, you've always been cool with each other.
Arnold is the best heavyweight fighter in that division, by far. He's got the best movement. Honestly, when you watch him move, man, he's like, Arnold's got to be about 18, 19 stone. He moves like a middleweight. He's like, his legs aren't even moving. It's from his hips. He's just got great movement. He's not even had to move out the way. It's just great movement. Meant to watch, I think.
Yeah, do you think he will actually come over to the UK and do what he says?
100%. Arnold is a fighting man. When you talk about fighting men, Arnold is one. And Arnold will fight anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, good. Hopefully we can make... Do you think it'll happen this year, the fight?
I hope so, because I'm 40 now. I mean, it's, I'm not young. I'm starting to get grey hairs and that, but
it's not shown in your performances, though, is it? When you look back at your performances, like it seems like you're getting better as your fights go on.
You know what it is? I've been really lucky because throughout my fighting career, I've been an electrician. So I've always had to work 8-10 hours a day, maybe doing electrician.
Yeah.
Because when the kids were little, I didn't want my wife working. I'd rather my wife look after my kids. So I ended up taking full-time job. So I ended up working 5 days a week as an electrician. And then I was working 5 nights a week as a doorman. So I was always shattered. So in between that, I was always trying to fit in training as well. So I was only really training 2 hours a day at the time.
Yeah.
Now at the minute, I work for Mark Bailey and a computer clinic. And he's given us freedom to just basically say, if you need to go and train, you train. So at the minute, I'm training 3 times a day every day.
Nice.
So like 6-7 hours a day now. So the training has really become my full-time job. Whereas I used to have to train after work.
Yeah.
I'm now training in the morning. I get up at 5 in the morning every morning. I go and I'll do some circuits with Andy. And then after my circuits, I'll try and do a weight circuit straight after. And I might go for a 3-mile run. Come back later, I'll do some pads with Andy. I'll do another run. So like I'm trying to get 2 runs in a day, like 6 mile a day. The pads, the strength and conditioning, and the weight.
Yeah, it's a lot of weight off your shoulder as well as a fighter, isn't it? To take that stress of work off and fit in the gym and that, because it is hard for some of these fighters, isn't it?
It is. You know, I've been lucky and I fell on my feet meeting Mark Bailey. Honestly, the man is a diamond of a bloke. He'll do anything for anyone, you know. And a couple of things happened with him which I helped him out, and he's repaid the favour tenfold, you know.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Do you think that obviously when you have the fight with Arnold Adams, that you're going to keep on obviously going, aren't you?
Well, to be honest, you know, like obviously we got beaten, then there was that Facebook scandal as well, you know, because like I don't like telling lies, and then I had loads of people saying I wasn't bothered that I got beaten. Although people were saying that I threw the fight because there's gambling involved, and I never ever cheat ever. Like honestly, if you ask people up here, I'm probably the fairest person. I get a lot of people asking us to sort things out for them because I'm not fair, you know. I do not cheat. I never ever threw that fight. I just wasn't my best because I wasn't well. So really, I just want to, you know, get there, you know, where I am well.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Because obviously, it'll have always been in the back of your mind, won't it? What would have happened in the fight if I was 100%?
But I swear to God, we've got videos, you know, when we're in Mexico, and I was doing 10-shot combinations at like fast speed, you know. I swear to God, Mexico, I was doing 6 mile in the morning. I'd done a weight circuit and I'd done 10 rounds of pads. I'll go out of the pool area and I used to do 20 lengths of the 25-meter pool. I'd have a rest, get something to eat, and I'd come back and I'd do the same again on the evening. And that was leading up to the week before the fight. Honestly, I was like really fit. And then you know, for the week I was meant to rest, I just started declining. My health was declining, you know. So when I went into the fight, I remember I was standing at the curtain ready to go into the ring. And Andy, my coach, he stood behind us and he's patted us on the back. And honestly, it hurt, you know. It's, you know, like, usually I don't feel a lot of pain when he hit us in the middle of the back. I remember when Andy, that hurt us. He went, honestly, I went. But it was horrible. Honestly, it's the worst feeling in the world because I knew I was going to get beat. I knew that day I could not win that fight. I didn't have the energy. And anyways, when Arnold threw the shot didn't even actually land on my face. I went to sort of roll and he sort of moved me head and it's knocked me balance over.
Yeah.
I went down on my knees and I was just that exhausted. I couldn't get back on my feet. And I remember I was getting my eyes stitched when we come off. It's horrible, you know, you don't get any anaesthetic, you just straight up the fight. And I was on this, it was almost like a little school table. And I'm getting stitched and it shouldn't have took a lot of weight. And I'm about 18 stone. So I'm lying on the table. And then for some reason, the doctor's got the needle in my eye. And Andy tried to sit on the table and nearly snapped. Honestly, he caved in. So Andy off, and then Andy told us off. He went, why didn't you just go down in the first round? And I went, well, he went, you were knackered. You should have just stopped in the first. But I went, well, you don't. You still want to win, even though it's harder for us. I wanted to win, you know?
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's a fucking bit of a shit situation that you were in, but obviously you'll get the fight that you want, mate, the rematch with Arnold. I've seen on Facebook, mate, he seems keen for it. He respects you the same way you respect him.
was
It's a
funny
fight he wants as well, isn't it?
because obviously after the fight we put on Facebook, and actually I okayed that with like Mozzie says, yeah, put that on. And anyways, it went on. I had to take it straight back off. We got told off, and I never heard anything for like nearly a year. And I thought, I'm done yelling, I'm right off for this. But anyways, they give us the second chance, and just got to progress through, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%, mate. What is any other heavyweights that you think are fucking good in the BKFC?
Rothwell's good. Kettler's good. I'll tell you who's the surprise. Frank Tate. I think Frank Tate will give anybody a fight. That kid's got power.
Yeah,
I mean,
Frank Tate.
I know he got beat, but if you stand in front of him, he'll punch a hole in your head in.
It's different knowing bare knuckle, isn't it? Like some people think, oh, like he's been beat, but fucking getting caught with a shot off anyone in bare knuckle clean. Like, do you know what I mean? It's very good fight.
We're all 18, 19 stone.
I mean, mate.
I mean, it's like, I don't care if you're 18 stone or 12 stone, you've still got a chin. It's just a chin. And if you get clipped with the chin and it's of a 19 stone bloke, I guarantee you it hurts. Every fight I have, I either crack my jaw, break my jaw, or break my hands. And I know I'm going to do it, but you've just got to cry about it the next day. You know what I mean? It's another story I can tell my grandkids when they're older. So I go in, I know what's happening. I know I'm going to damage myself. But if you win, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it doesn't get no more brutal than the bare knuckle as well, does it? It's like a different type of winning it. You went in there and you've had a proper fucking fight.
It is. Honestly, it's out of all the fighting, and I swear I've done boxing, unlicensed boxing, amateur boxing, Thai boxing, K1, kickboxing. When you win at a bare knuckle, it's the best pose you've ever had because it's like, I just feel more manly. I think that's what it is. It's just a man.
100%. But you haven't just been doing it from the BKFC. You've been fighting bare knuckle well before the BKFC, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing. My first ever fight bare knuckle was with that, what's he called? Cowboys Michael Quinn McDonough.
Yeah.
And he was meant to fight Takahagi. And
yeah, you're telling me about this. You stepped in last minute.
10 days or a week before, Decker just popped his pants and pulled out, didn't he? So they were looking for a replacement. Now, on my thumb, I'll get on there. I had a fight about 8 months before with, Big John Lewis from your end.
Yeah.
In an unlicensed boxing fight. And John's got a massive head, It's like a brick. So John got overhand, right? And I swear, I've snapped my thumb there. And then I've shattered that bone in 3 bits.
Right.
So I had to squeeze them bones together and pull that bone back out and then cast it up. So I hadn't been able to train, I was being lazy. I could have trained around my hand, but I never trained for 8 months. And it was Dave Wheel phoned us up when that Decker Higgies pulled out against this Cowboys Michael Quinn. Would you take the fight? And I went, how much is it? And he went, it was $3,000 plus a ticket deal. I went, I go, no, I'll do it. When is it? He went, next week. So I just had to start on doing some runs. But it was funny because I'd already been offered to fight for BKB before that, and I had knocked it back. And there was 2 reasons at the time why, because I got offered to do the BKB when it was UB bad at the very start. And it was the Stu Armstrong, he was on us.
Yeah.
I'll get you some fights in the UB bad. And I went, how much is it? He went, well, it starts off at £300. And at the time, I was fighting all over Europe, like with the kickboxing.
Yeah.
I was getting decent money at the time, and I went, are you having a laugh? I went, I have some little numpty chip shop bro that's swinging punches at us. I probably going to get stitches for £300. I went, no, you're okay. So when James Quinn offered us the 3,000, that's how and anyways, I won the fight. I can't remember the fight with Cowboys. He caught us in the first round, dropped us. Can't remember the rest of the fight, but I ended up winning. And after that, it was just, they were all on us, I had loads of people phone us up asking us, will you fight on my show? And then the money just went up and up.
Was when you obviously turned over to bare knuckle, was there something you would have been hesitant at first, or was just the fact of, no, pay me the right money and I'll fucking fight?
The money. I would fight anybody if he gives the money. I tell you what, I do think stupid. I seen that new slap.
Oh, mate, that's fucking... You're taking full blows to the head without defending yourself and nothing. It's fucking stupid, mate. People having hematomas and everything on their faces.
Oh, they're gonna be deaf, you know. They're gonna burst the eardrums and everything. I just think, what are you playing at?
Like fucking stupid.
But what are people getting out of that?
It's not as if they're getting slapped though half the time. They're getting whacked with the jaw with the palm of the hand. Do you know what I mean?
It's a palm. That's what's knocking them out. But that's probably the only thing I'll not do, because I just think it's absolute stupidity, and I'm quite pretty. You know what I mean? I want to keep it like that.
Don't you think it's a bit mental how that's even sanctioned?
Well, it's Dana White's got it, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's only because he's got it while the sanctioning it, innit?
You know what it is, though? You notice, since the bare knuckles coming out, Dana White's looking to expand on other things.
Yeah, he's proper pushing that power slap. He's putting everything into it, mate.
He is, because you know why? I don't know if you've noticed as well, in the UK, there's less and less MMA shows now. Now, can you remember 10, 15 years ago, every week, there was an MMA show, because MMA was a shock. People are looking at it, or they punched them on the floor. It's a shock. But it's not a shock now. Now, if you go to a BKFC fight, and I don't care where it is, every BKFC fight I've been to, honestly, the crowd go wild, because it's got the wow factor. It's a shock. The production's great, and you've got, especially in the UK, you've got Bakewell. He's doing a mint job on it. And then if you ever go back to the American shows, though, it's honestly it's unreal as well. That atmosphere, they just love it, and it's a shock. That's what it is. It's the new shock factor, and I think the BKFC might grow past the MMA, because I keep saying this to people. The MMA in America, them enjoy, because from a young age they've all wrestled, so they understand the ground game. Now, when you get into England and the wrestling on the floor, I know it's starting to upgrade a little bit, but let's say your granddad's watching it again. Well, they're just cuddling on the floor. Yeah,
definitely.
Our people don't understand the game, and unless you understand a bit of jiu-jitsu and wrestling, you just think, well, they're two little pansies cuddling.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said as well, like with the excitement gone out of it. Like when I was over America, we'd just be in Applebee's having food or anything, and UFC's all over the tellies in the fucking, do you know what I mean? Just like football would be in the UK. It's just a normal sport to them.
But I mean, you can only thank Feldman for that. He's pushed that massively. I mean, when you look at the brand, honestly, I mean, they've got the clothing and everything now, but like the production, it looks class. He's got the big stage. He's got the walkway. He does all the proper weigh-ins. He's nailed it. He's just hit the nail with the hammer.
Yeah, it's fucking unreal, mate. Like it's a total different buzz at the shows, and you just know when these kids are walking to the ring, or when you're walking to the ring yourself. Like there's gonna be fucking blood, fucking built. It's mental, mate.
Well, on that last show, in between fights, I was trying to come down and watch. I mean, for some reason, I don't know why, in the changing rooms, they block the windows out, so you can't see the fights. So I just cut myself a little slit. But fights are that good. I thought I've got to go down. Obviously, with the corner pass, you can go anywhere you want. But when you go front row and you just hear the slap and it's slapping, and then there's blood coming everywhere, it's just amazing,
You hear every shot, don't you?
It's class, honestly. It's amazing.
That them Polish lads fucking bring it all the time, don't they? Like that David Oscar and Bar Kroll, they're two good fighters that look to bring it.
Do you know what it is? I was watching that fight, and different thing. I thought, he's done, and then he just sprung back. They were two good, tough kids.
Yeah, who would you say is the heaviest hitter you've been in with?
Bare knuckle.
Yeah.
I would have had to say Cowboys, because I can't remember the fight. Honestly, he dropped me, I think it was about 40 seconds into the first round. And it was my own fault. I was circling into his right hand. It was a bad habit. And he was doing quite well. And I followed him, instead of cutting the ring off. And I've stepped over. And when he caught us, I went down. I remember I got up, I said, that was a good shot at me, and I can't remember nothing. Like, not a thing.
Well, did you finish the fight? Like, if someone told you how the fight went, you must have finished it not long after that, did you? With just fucking one shot or something? Or did you actually go back to war?
Went the full 5 rounds. The last round, I was just talking, I think I was on autopilot, and I just kept jabbing the body, wearing him down. And I just saw he sort of like started leaning back into the ropes, sent with a lot of body shots and uppercuts. But I swear to God, we had that fight, and after the fight, I went. When I got my money in, I went back home, and my brother-in-law was with his Connor. Went back in the house, and my wife took off my money off us, right? I realised at the time. So then I went to the Indians, and I sat in the Indians with John and Lee Madison and my brother-in-law, and I woke up in the Indians. I actually remember being there. So because the says I was just dazed. So I wakes up, and anyways, I'm looking at my money. I went, they've robbed us. And they went, well, I went, I haven't paid us the full amount. And Connor went, you've just give Coleman £1.50 or something there. I went. And my wife kept it, she wouldn't give us it back. I says, how I wasn't thinking straight. I've been done, but you took it.
It's weird, mate, how it works. Like, I remember being at an unlicensed boxing show years ago, and one of my pals was fighting another lad. And anyways, he'd knocked him out bad. And after he'd come round and all that, this kid, he was asking when his fight is and that. He's saying, can we go to the shops quick before my fight and that? Like, just didn't have a fucking Scooby-Doo. He'd been in the ring and had a fight.
Well, you know what I was saying? I hadn't trained for that fight because obviously, like, I had a broken thumb, so I'd like, and I got it. It was last minute. I think the only reason why I did manage to keep my fitness was Andy was telling us every time I come back to the corner, I was saying, "Is it the second round yet?" So it was in the fourth and the fifth round. I'm going, "Is it the second round yet?" And they're going, "Mick, it's the fifth round. It's the fifth round." But I thought I got the first round every round.
Mental. So has Andy been in your? Have you been side by side for a long time? You and Andy been good pals?
I first met Andy in Barry Norman's gym about 10, 15 years ago. And he's just a mint kid, you know what I mean? You can't take him, honestly. He'd do anything for anyone, you know. He's just a class kid, you know. And obviously we're training together. And what happened was I was at Barry's. I'd won a couple of British titles doing the Thai boxing. And I was trying to get him further, you know, in the game. And I don't know, at the time I thought I was being held back a little bit. So I ended up leaving. I went to that gym and ended up starting up on my own. And started my own gym. And I ended up just start fighting all over Europe. So I was like, I think at one point I had 18 Thai fights in a year. Now a lot of people probably only have like 4. Because so I was getting paid fortunes as well, you know. So I was like, champion, I'll take the next fight, take the next fight. The only problem was I was meant to be I was 85 kilo fighter, and then I was starting to get people asked for heavyweight, so I was starting to go up and down the weights.
Yeah.
So 1 month I was fighting at heavyweight, the next month it was at 85 kilos, and then so I was on a diet, and then I was having to eat ice cream. The next month to get back up to heavyweight, and then I started my own gym, and Andy come to train with us. And as I was training him, obviously he's a bit older than me. Andy, I went, do you not fancy helping out? Because we've both got little kids the same age. He's got a little boy, and I had Joey. I went, and the kids were training with me. I went, do you not fancy just helping out? So I ended up having Andy and Sean Barry helping, and then Bars come in as well, and we ended up just clicking. You know, like there was no egos, no arguments. We all just got on. So we ended up all just being best pals for the past 15 years, really.
Yeah, it seems like a cracking little team. Like he's got like the fucking every time I see you, it's just banter on fire. He's a funny guy, isn't he, Andy?
Oh, you know what it is? It's like I've got a file of photos of him, you know, on my phone, and I keep them for rainy days because he's good at griefing people, you know. Like, and if he sees that little kink in your armor, he's on you. And like, he'll be on you a day, maybe 2 days. So I've got a file saved, and I let him see the file, and I'm saying, if you have a gun, they're coming out, mind. And I've got loads of pictures, you know, that I photoshopped of them. I say they're bag them, mind.
Class, man. Well, I've had you on for a while now, mate. Is there anything else that you want to share with us, mate, before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it. Just if Feldman is watching, announce the fight, man. I'm desperate to go.
I'm going to tag him in a video after this on Instagram. Hopefully we'll get a reply. But I really appreciate you coming on, mate. Sorry to keep you for too long, but it's been a good podcast.
Spot on, mate.
We'll keep in touch, mate, like we do, and hopefully have some news to come back on and talk about when you're fighting Arnold.
Spot on. If I hear it, I'll let you know first.
Yeah, spot on, Mickey. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, pal.
Cheers, though. See you later, mate. Drop.
See you later, Mick. Bye, mate. Yes, people. Nice one for tuning in there. Heavyweight beast, Mick Terrill. Love talking to him. Just stories after stories after stories. Just constantly has me in kinks. Funny little team they've got up there up the O'Tools. Class, man. Cracking bunch of lads. But anyways, people, that's a fight that could be possibly happening soon with Arnold Adams. And listen to that, it'll be for the vacant heavyweight title. If Mick wins this, the heavyweight title in the BKFC, the World Championship, will be in the UK. Northeast fighter. I'm going to put Mick's social media in the description, his Instagram and that. Make sure you get over there, support the lads on the journey, and let's get this fucking title in the UK. What you saying, people? Nice one for tuning in. We're going on another podcast in 20 minutes, but I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.